Yes, good morning, class. Today we will discuss the overall briefing of the root locus. What are the types of numericals that have been asked in root locus? That is one pole, two pole, three pole, like that, or a complex conjugate of pole. Yes? Am I audible? Is the screen visible? Hmm. Yes. Okay. So, the outline of the lecture is the root locus of a first order system, the root locus of the second order system, and then the root locus of the higher order system. Higher order system means the order of the system which is having order of 3 or above 2. Okay. So this is the lecture outline. So root locus 1, that is of a first order system. In the first order system, root locus it is without 0 and are represented by the following transfer function: g of s into h of s equals to k divided by s plus alpha. Okay, so in this case there is no zero term available, only one pole is there. So this is of first order system locus numerical. So such root system is a horizontal line starting from minus alpha and moves towards the infinity as the k reaches to the infinity. This is the definition of the root locus, right? Root locus of a such system is a horizontal line starting from minus alpha and then moves towards the minus infinity as the k reaches to the infinity. See, s plus alpha means s equals to minus alpha. Minus alpha is your pole. This is your pole zero mapping. Is showing imaginary axis and axis is it is having the response. So root locus the minus infinity minus alpha to minus infinity. So that's only we have discussed. Root locus of a such system is a horizontal line starting from minus infinity and tends towards minus infinity as k reaches to infinity. So these are the types or the homework numericals for first type of order of a system. So draw the root locus of the following system. First, g of s into h of s equals to k divided by s plus 2. Second numerical is g of s into h of s equals to k divided by s minus 1. And third type, that is g of s into h of s equals to k by s. So this is all about a first order root locus system. Yeah. So first order system with zeros are represented by the following transfer function. Previously we have seen only the first order system with poles. Now we will see the system with zeros also. So the transfer function g of s into h of s equals to k s plus beta divided by s plus alpha. In this case, s plus beta is your zero and s plus alpha is your pole. Okay. So the root locus of a such system is a horizontal line starting from minus alpha and then moves towards the beta as the k reaches to the infinity. Yes, this is the root locus of your system by plotting the pole zero mapping. That is minus alpha is your pole and minus beta is your zero. So root locus will start from pole towards zero. Types of numerical which we are having zero if given as and four. In second numerical, one four is at plus one and then zero is at minus five. In numerical, one zero minus three and one pole is zero. Yeah. This type of system in which pole and zero exist, so it consists of first order root locus system. So now moving towards root locus of second order system. Till now we have seen root locus of first order system. Now we will see the root locus of the second order system. First of all, we will say the second order system with or without zeros. They are having only poles. means denominator part. So G of s into H of s equals to K divided by S plus alpha 1 and S plus alpha 2. In this case, there are two. So root locus of the system is are of vertical lines. Yes. So vertical line in which alpha 1 and alpha 2, that is minus alpha 1 and minus alpha 2, these are your poles. So root locus will lie between these poles and it will be in vertical form, right? This type of numericals we have seen already. So like this, root locus will be in vertical form. In case when there will be a zeros in your transfer function, your root locus will be horizontal line. And in case where there are more than two poles, in that case, your root locus will be in vertical direction. So such a type of numericals in which root will lie in a vertical plane and that of second order system are shown in the figure, that is the G. First one, G of s into H of s equals to K divided by S, S plus 2. Second numerical, G of s into H of s equals to K divided by S square. In this case, there are two poles at 0 only. Yes. And third numerical, G of s into H of s equals to K divided by S plus 1 and in bracket S minus 3. Fourth one is G of s into H of s equals to K divided by S square plus 3s plus 10. So such type of numericals, they are of second order system. Yes. So the root locus of the second order system, in this type, there exist zeros and also more than two poles. Second order system with one zero having two poles and one transfer function is given as G of s into H of s equals to K divided by S plus alpha 1 and then S plus alpha 2. So in this case, two poles are there at minus alpha 1 and then minus alpha 2 and one zero is there at minus beta. So the root locus of such system are either horizontal line or circular, depending upon the pole zero configuration. Yes. So how the root locus will look like? See, this is a pole zero mapping. Minus alpha 1 and minus alpha 2 are your poles and minus beta is your zero. So in this case, how your root locus will look like? See. So in this case, my breakaway point will be existing between minus alpha 1 and then minus alpha 2. Yes. And the root locus will look like, see, in the horizontal form or circular, depending upon your pole zero calculation. So these are just basic examples. They will not come in your paper, but we have to see means how many poles are there, how many zeros, then how my root locus will look like. So these are typical examples. See, if minus alpha 1 and minus alpha 2, they are on one side and minus beta 1, it is near to origin, then my root locus will look like, see, it will exist between minus alpha 1 and then minus alpha 2. When alpha 1 and alpha 2, they are near to the origin and beta is away from the origin, my root locus will be in circular form. So these are your homework numericals, that is, draw the root locus of the following system. First one, G of s into H of s equals to K, S plus 1 divided by S, S plus 2. Second one is like G of s into H of s equals to K, S minus 2 divided by S square. In this case, there is one zero at plus 2 and our two poles are there at 0 itself. And third numerical is G of s into H of s equals to K, S plus 5, S plus 1 and then S minus 3. In this case, one zero is at minus 5 and then one pole is at minus 1 and again another pole is at plus 3. Yes, this is a typical example of the root locus. That is, sketch the root locus and plot the following system with a complex conjugate open loops pole. So previous class we have seen the complex conjugate pole type of numerical, that is in denominator it was s plus 2 plus 2j, and then s plus 2 minus 2j. These are called complex conjugate open loop poles. In this case, they are given a feedback control system in which r of s is your input, k s plus 2 divided by s square plus 2s plus 3. This is your open loop gain g of s, and h of s is your 1. That is unity feedback system. So in this case, g of s equals to k s plus 2 divided by s square plus 2s plus 2. We have to factorize this, and h of s is given 1. So g of s has the complex conjugate pole. So we have to factorize the denominator, s square plus 2s plus 3. Make the factors in your calc. It will be coming minus 1 plus minus j root 2, or you can say minus 1 plus j 1.414, or s equals to minus 1 minus j 1.414. These are the roots of your denominator. See, what is your step 1? Yes, these are generally, we have seen that first is pole zero mapping. Second one is determination of the root locus on the real axis. Third one is to calculate asymptote, and then I have to calculate the angle of asymptote. Yes, right. These are the steps, general steps to calculate the root locus. Step 4, yes, to determine the angle of departure from the complex conjugate open loop poles, and from where that angle of asymptote will go, I have to calculate the centroid first of all. Yes, formula for centroid is summation of a real part of pole minus summation of a real part of zeros divided by p minus z. Yes, with the presence of the pair of the complex conjugate open loop poles, we require the determination of the angle of departure for this pole. Yes, I have told you in previous class or previous numerical, in case of complex conjugate pole, there will be an angle of departure. Means it will not go from the x-axis, it will go from the complex conjugate poles, and with which angle it will go and meet at y-axis, I have to calculate. So the knowledge of the angle of departure, it is important since the root locus near the complex pole yields information as to whether the locus originating from the complex pole migrate towards the real axis and extend towards the asymptotes. Yes. So since the root locus is symmetrical about the real axis, the angle of departure from the pole at s equals to minus p2 is minus 145. Yes, they have calculated now the angle of departure in our numerical with the same procedure. So s will be, it will be in first case it will be plus 145, and in second case it will be minus 145. So on complex conjugate pole, from above side I will mark 1 plus 145 degree, and from bottom side, that is minus p2, I will mark minus 145 degree. So with that angle, the root locus will go and it will meet at the imaginary. So step 4, default, calculate the angle of departure from the complex conjugate open loop pole. Yes. See how to calculate the complex conjugate open loop pole. See the calculation. You see the calculation of angle of departure, how they have calculated? 180 minus phi 1 plus phi 2. Yes, we have calculated in previous numerical. Yes, since the root locus is symmetric above the real axis, the angle of departure from the pole is at s equals to minus p2 is minus 145, and then second when s equals to minus p1, it will be plus 145. So plus 145 and then minus 145. So now next step is to calculate the break-in point or breakaway point. So k equals to, by simplifying this numerical. So this was my numerical. This was my numerical k s plus 2 divided by s square plus 2s minus 2. In this case, the value of k would be k equals to s square plus 2s divided by 2s plus 2. So how to calculate the breaking point? Minus s square plus 2s plus 3 divided by s plus 2. Now do the derivative, that is dk by ds. So what is the derivative of u by v? Derivative of u minus derivative of v divided by v square. Yes, like that only. Numerator derivative, keeping denominator constant, and then keeping numerator constant, denominator derivative divided by denominator whole square. This is derivative of u by v rule. So all of you would be knowing that derivative of u by v rule. Yes. So see the calculation. So I have to calculate the breakaway point, which will be valid breakaway point and invalid breakaway point. Depending on that, I will select the valid breakaway point. This is the calculation. So yes, we have calculated the breakaway point, that is minus 3.730, and then 0.2608. So from this I have to check which is valid breakaway point and which is invalid breakaway point. So see, minus 3.730, this is your breakaway point, and from angle of departure, how the angle will be going. So this is your actual root locus. That would be looking like minus 3.073. This is your root locus on the x-axis, that is valid breakaway point, and I have to calculate the zeta, that is 0.7. So this was the root locus. So what will be the root locus of the higher order system? So the third order system without zero, that is transfer function, it is given as g of s into h of s equals to k divided by s plus 1, s plus alpha 1, s plus alpha 2, and then s plus alpha 3. In this case, there are 3 poles. So this is the typical numerical. So this type of numerical, it will be asked in the examination without zero, that is 3 poles or 4 poles. So how the root locus will look like that? See, if the sketch the root locus of the following unity feedback system, it is given as k s plus 3 divided by s plus 1, s plus 2, s plus 3, s plus 4. So in this case, one 0 is there and 4 poles are there. So one pole is at 0, minus 1, minus 2, and then minus 4, and 0 is at minus 3. So g of s into h of s equals to k s. So let us begin by calculating the angle of asymptote of this numerical, that is k divided by s plus 3, s plus 1, s plus 2, and then s plus 4. The real axis intercepts at the evaluation. So calculate the angle asymptote. Real part of pole minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, minus real part of 0, that is minus 3. So minus 4 by 3, it will be minus 1.33. So this is your centroid. So the angle of the lines, it will intersect at minus 4 by 3. So now calculate the angle of asymptote. So as there are 4 poles and 1 0, so p minus z, 4 minus 1, that is 3. So there will be 3 angle of asymptotes. So formula to calculate angle of asymptote, psi equals to 2k plus 1 into theta into pi divided by p minus z. So k will be varied from 0, 1, and then 2. So what will be my value of theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3? It will be 60, 180, and then 300 degree. Pi pi by 3 means 300 degree. So this angle of asymptote will be calculated from centroid. So what is my centroid? Minus 1.33. So I will calculate the angle of asymptote. First angle of asymptote as shown in the figure. This is your first angle of asymptote. Then second angle of asymptote is at 180 degree and third angle of asymptote is at 300 degrees Celsius. So now calculate the break-in or breakaway points. For that, I have to take the characteristic equation. C equals 1 equals to 0. So the numerical for sketching the root locus of the system of the characteristic equation is 1 plus j of s into h of s. It will be coming. So calculate the breakaway point or break-in point by characteristic equation 1 plus g of s into h of s equals to 0. So in this case there are 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this case there are 4 poles. 2 poles at minus 4, 1 pole is at minus 2 and then 1 pole is at 0 and there is 1 0. Okay. So number of asymptote equals to p minus z. P minus z, that is 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the number of branches of the root locus will be finite will be equal to 4. So using the real axis asymptote intercept and to evaluate, it will be लावा इथे सोल्डरिंग करा ठीक आहे चारही पॉइंट्स ना याचे हे काढून सोल्डरिंग करा कुठे कुठे कसा कोणता कसा आहे कोणता कुठला आहे कसं पण त्याचं कॉन्फिगरेशन राहील का सगळे कोणतेही 4 कुठे कनेक्ट केले तर असे So the angle of asymptote that will intersect at minus 3, I will be calculating the angle of asymptote. that is 2k plus 1 into 180 divided by n minus m. N is your pole and m is your zeros. So k will be varied from 0, 1 and then 2. So in this case, theta 180 will be 60 degree, then 180 degree, and then similarly 300 degree. So the root locus of the plot of the system is shown in the figure below. It is noted that there are three asymptotes since p minus z equals to 3. The root locus must begin from the pole. It is two loci or two branches, and it will must be equal to pole. Using the equation 7, the breakaway point will be determined as, so sigma equals to minus 2.5. So this is your valid breakaway point. So from minus 2.59, the root locus will go, and where it will meet on the imaginary axis, I have to calculate with the help of Routh-Hurwitz criteria for that. So now take the next example. Example is that sketch the root locus of the system. In this, transfer function is given as k s plus 1 and denominator s square s plus 3.6. So similar way, we can calculate the root locus of the system. How to calculate the breakaway point, angle of asymptote, centroid. From centroid, the angle of asymptote will go, and then to calculate the breakaway point by taking characteristic equation, c equals to 1 plus g of s into h of s equals to 0. So calculating k value, that is dk by ds, q by v rule. So this will be my breakaway point, that is s equals to minus 1.65 plus minus j 0.9367 or minus 3. So root locus will be looking like this. So in this way, we can calculate the root locus of the various system given, that is first order root locus system, second order root locus system. In case there will be 4 poles and 1 zeros, or 3 poles and 1 zero, or there will be no zeros, or there will be only poles will be there. So the steps are similar in case of all numericals for calculating the root locus, right? So this was all about the root locus. In the upcoming class, we will see very important plot, that is Bode plot. So Bode plot is also one criteria to check the stability of the system. Like root locus or Hurwitz criteria, there is also Bode plot. There will be a odd question for this. You have to draw the root locus, or you can solve the Bode plot. It will carry the same mark, that is 13 marks numerical. So in upcoming class, we will see the numericals on the Bode plot. Till then, you can solve n number of numericals on root locus. So please check the Google Classroom. In that, I have uploaded the reference books also related to control system. Yes, so you will get more number of numericals in that case. Okay. So thank you, class. Stay safe, stay at home. Mark the attendance link provided in your class, and we will be meeting tomorrow with the Bode plot numerical. Okay. Thank you. Any doubt? You can please unmute yourself and then ask me. This is a question answer section. If any doubt, you can ask me. Yes. No doubt? Okay, then we will be starting with the in next class we will be starting with Bode plot, right? Okay. Thank you, class.